Hit that subscribe button.
Welcome down to the Kessel Corner. Today's guest is James Rallison, creator of the Odd1sOut and Oddballs hit TV show on Netflix.
Check it out.
First things first.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being catfish right now.
Oh, yeah, because I'm not like a white blob bubble boy.
Yeah. You lied.
Well, we sound the same.
Yeah, you do. You sound exactly the same. It makes me feel comfortable.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Your content's just so great because it's like, when I scroll through your YouTube channel, like we'll talk about the TV show in a sec, but your YouTube channel is so, it's like we're best friends.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I'm going for.
How do you do it?
I mean, I'm just a lovable guy, I guess.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you're just so good at storytelling.
Oh.
Yeah, pats on the back, man. You absolutely deserve it. Are you interested, or do you do any other kinds of mediums of performing arts? Like, I know you're doing the voice acting on Netflix and everything. Do you do like performing arts, like singing or acting or anything like that?
This isn't really a performing art, but I got my start on the internet with comics, like little web comics, little doodles.
Cool.
And I've actually been like getting back into the comics and like really just getting that artistic passion of like making little doodles just to like make people laugh. And I think making those comics really like helped me like learn how to structure a joke and how to like entertain people with my art, you know? So it's like, especially with comics and animation, you kind of want to be like as succinct. You just want to like not have any filler or fluff. You just like want to get to the point. You want to tell your joke and you want to leave, you know? And so it's making the comics and the animations, I don't know, it's helped me like become snappier, get to the point, and like cut out all unnecessary fluff. Kind of like how I just repeated myself twice.
I love that. No, that's okay. Dude, it's, words are hard.
Right?
It's okay.
We don't have to like animate this like whole thing, so we can just like shoot the Oh, can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We just put in like a little sound effect every
cool.
time you cuss. So for your comic inspiration, did you grow up like reading comic books and things like
Absolutely.
that?
Those were the only books that I read.
That's
the
awesome.
Garfield, the Calvin and Hobbes, and my mom was like really big on like making us read, all the kids read, and I would just gravitate to the Garfield and the Calvin and Hobbes, and she's like, it counts, it's close enough.
So you were all about the imagery.
Yeah, and just like getting to tell a joke as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Absolutely. What about Marvel Comics superheroes? Do you see any for animated James here, who literally like we're twinning right now? I feel like you just animated me, just a little bit thinner,
and like he's clean shaven too.
Yeah, no beard, no tattoos. Although there was that tattoo episode where
I was going to ask about your tattoos. Like, how many do you have? Do you keep count?
Me, I have over 100.
Can you like
at this point
kick your leg up?
Kick the leg up. Yeah, we got a lot here.
I like that. It looks like you have some like interactive tattoos.
Oh yeah, we got
like,
games of tic-tac-toe. We have a game of we have word searches.
Oh my God.
Lots of games of tic-tac-toe.
How high up does it go?
All the way up.
Well, you're asking about Marvel comics. Did you ever read Bone? Like those Bone comics?
Yes.
Bone was this like. It was a graphic novel. It was a whole overarching narrative.
But it was an actual book.
Yeah, and it also had these like white blobby characters on them.
Cool.
And when I first saw them, I was like, oh, it's just like a comic book. This is going to be great. And then I like read the first few chapters and I was like, oh, this is a serious story. And then I stopped reading. So no, I didn't really get into like the whole narrative overarching plots and graphic novels with characters that like had like deep emotional backstories and stuff. No, I was just sticking with Calvin and Hobbes.
That's awesome, man. And so for your TV show, did you really? That's where the inspiration was drawn from, Calvin and Hobbes, right? Because it's you and your.
Yeah.
It's an alligator, right? Not a crocodile. It's an alligator.
I think it switches. Honestly, I remember. Okay, because his name is Max, and then there's an A in Max, and so an alligator. But it's worse because he's not an alligator, so it's a crocodile.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know. It's just a big lizard.
Why a crocodile?
So I think big lizards are cool.
Cool. Do you have any?
Oh, no, but my girlfriend has a bunch of snakes.
Nice. What kind of snakes?
She has two I'm gonna not know.
Ball python.
No, she has two hognoses. She has one that I call the rhinoceros snake because it has this like long nose that like sticks out. Yeah, wait, I don't know if I answered the question. Why an alligator?
Yeah, or a crocodile.
Crocodile. Wait, you're right. I think. Well, I mean, am I allowed to say this? So when we originally pitched the show, we actually had our own like overarching backstory and narrative about like what this town was and why there was this girl from the future coming in and blah blah blah. But then the network, the executives were like, no, we just want adventure, a self-contained episode like SpongeBob, where it's like they have fun and then everything resets. And we were like, okay, that's fine. But then there's still like kind of remnants of that like old overarching story, but it didn't really go anywhere. So
I think that's cool. Would you like to in the future do an overarching story?
I mean, it was always going to be a comedy. You know, we were never going to make this like serious drama 2D animated show. It was always going to be like just wacky adventures of these characters and stuff. But yeah, I also think, you know, doing the show like really taught me a lot about, you know, making a story, structuring the story, like how to make people like the characters, and like, you know, doing the first season, you like learn what works and what doesn't work, you know. So, but I don't think they're going to want to do any more episodes. So I don't.
You're very brutally honest, man.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, dude.
Are you a realist? You seem like you have a really dark sense of humor just from the first episode of the show alone, where, you know, I saw like the toaster comes to life and it's time to give it. It's dirty. It needs a bath.
And yeah. Oh man, that was
really dark for a kids show.
Thanks, dude.
I loved it.
Yeah, there was like so many things that we had to like fight. You know, what did they say? It's like you make a risky joke and then you make a really risky joke. So then they go like, oh, you can't do that really risky joke, but then you still get away with the not as risky joke. We were able to get away with our like extra risky jokes, you know? Like, I don't know if you remember, it was in that Toasty episode. There was they dropped Toasty in the lake, and then there's this like diver that like comes up and he just floats up. And we were like, oh, there's no way this is going to pass. And then they let us do it. So, and we're like, all right.
Like my favorite bit of the episode. I was like, how did they get through with this? Like, dude, for the parents, they've got to love that show too. I'm just saying, I love the show.
Thanks.
It's for me, it's up there like with SpongeBob. In all honesty, I genuinely resonate with it.
Like I said, it was very interesting going from YouTube to Netflix, because on YouTube, I'm like the boss, you know, I'm the one that like makes the final say of like what's allowed and what's not allowed. And now all of a sudden on Netflix, I had to like work with all these executives who were like, no, you can't kick an old person down the stairs. And it's like, well, what if we make the old person mean? And then, yeah, okay, that's fine. But, so I don't know. It's just like having to like share creative control with people. It was a learning process. It was good. I think what we made was really good. Not to be like totally ADD brain here, but is that gum on the floor?
On this next segment, this is called Test Your Talent, where we're going to take James's creative ability with...
Test your talent?
Because we don't have any paper on set. We just have this Sharpie, so I guess we'll have to draw it on my leg.
Oh
no. All right, well, I'll put this down, I guess.
All right, get it up here.
Oh, there's more gum on the stage. That's nice. All right, and so in this segment today, James is going to use this patch of skin that's pretty much bright as the sun.
Yeah.
And he's going to draw an original doodle now.
You're not gonna be like, and then I'm getting it tattooed on my leg.
That would be absolutely insane. Of course not.
Can I ask you, what's the deal with this one right here?
The to-do list?
To-do list, your mom, something crazy, then and then what is it? Fight a bear.
Fight a bear.
And then you have this like empty stuff, so you can like put whatever you want.
Well, and I checked your mom off because last night got crazy.
Hey.
So don't tell Anna. Sorry, honey. She said stupid under her breath just now.
All right, so just
it can
right
be like
here,
as low effort as possible, but a character that you'd have on your show on YouTube or Netflix, whatever. Just that kind of vein of testing your talent.
Can you hold
your mic? Yeah, I'll hold your mic for you. Here, I'm gonna put it on this side. I'm just gonna go like this. That way we can. All right. Why don't we put 2 minutes on the clock?
What is this timed?
Timed. You have 2 minutes. He's
I'm
like focusing. He's like
focused.
He's in this thing.
Oh, man, I'm like running out of space.
No, you got this. You got this.
Okay.
Awesome.
Is that?
That's great.
Less than 2 minutes. So it's my guy holding a microphone, doing like the arm raise thing, like, hey.
Okay, hold on.
Can this camera see that?
I got an extra angle right here, so that's pretty awesome, man. I love that. So that's literally you this second.
That's what, yeah.
On the podcast.
Holding the microphone.
And now, Flora!
Oh my God.
So yeah, we're tattooing it.
Like right now?
Right now, on set.
Wow.
while we continue the interview.
Well, okay. That's going to be a little painful though, right?
Yeah.
I would
Honestly,
know. I've gotten my fair share of tattoos before.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to talk to you about your dark crystal one.
Can we?
Yeah.
Let me.
Take your shirt off.
Well, have you ever seen the 1980 something Jim Henson puppet movie, The Dark Crystal?
You know what? I have not, but my better half has.
So this is Chamberlain. He's a Skeksis. He's badass, and he's like the main bad guy, and I hope that he's my friend. I hope that we would be friends, you know?
Why do you say that?
Because, like, look at him. He's, like, so cool. There's characters, they're, like, not on anyone's side. They're just doing things for their own selfish, like, gain and everything. And I think that's cool. Like, he friggin', like, at one point almost kind of betrays his kind to, like, become leader. I don't know if I'm selling the idea of him very well. I'm just, like, saying all these, like, bad things about him.
But I know that on the tattoo...
Oh, man. This is happening.
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Wow.
Yeah. I know that with your tattoo that they did the staff wrong, the top of the staff. And are you still... I was going to ask if you're bitter about it, but I think the whole expression of that is pretty evident that you are.
It's funny. Like, I don't think I realized that the staff was wrong until after they had, like, finished it.
Oh,
and
no. It's
I was
worse.
like, oh, but then I was like... I think I mentioned this in the video, but like it's a better silhouette. His original staff is like this triangle thing, and I don't know, this little like gesture.
It's original.
It's also original. This whole thing is it's not my first tattoo.
Oh, I know your first tattoo.
This is my first.
That's
tattoo.
how we bonded when we first met.
Yeah, that's right.
Tattoo.
Yeah.
I was like, that is genius. And then I wanted to do test tattoo, and I was like, Anna wouldn't let me. She was like, no, it's too similar to James's. You can't do that.
Make sure that's like a microphone. Yeah. I know. It's supposed to be like it. Yeah, and that's like the cord and stuff. I'm so sorry.
Why? Dude, have you seen the rest of my leg? This is like very tame.
You know, that's a fair point. You have a boxing glove on your leg.
Yeah, I lost a bet. It was from my friend Cheryl Porter. She'll be on the show soon, guys.
What's like the dumbest tattoo you have?
Oh man, I have so many. So let me ask you this. I feel like I'm getting interviewed now. I'm so honored. Oh. What do you think this is?
It's a crab. It's like a succulent crab.
Yeah, crab.
What's
just look at the top.
Crabo verde?
No, keep going.
Is it not aloe verde?
No.
I don't really know the names of succulents though.
Just the top. Think easier, plant wise.
But it is a crab.
It's a crab with grass. It's crabgrass.
So like crass?
No, it's just crabgrass.
I'm still trying to like get the clever, yeah.
Yeah, it's so much stupider than you think it is.
Wait, but what is crabgrass?
Crabgrass, it's like an invasive species that ruins your lawn.
Oh.
Crabgrass.
I wouldn't.
Oh my gosh. Maybe it's like a New England thing. I don't know. My New Englanders, let me know about your crabgrass experience. We can bond over our shared trauma. So for your tattoos, I'm genuinely curious.
What's up? Oh.
Dark Crystal, I know you have a series about it, but like, why put it on your body for the rest of your life?
You know, I also talked about in the tattoo video how I wanted to get this other character from another series called Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I wanted to get the computer, but then I like realized like in that moment as I was explaining it to the tattoo artist that both of those characters are puppets. And I think I just had this like, this fascination for puppets because it's like in its own weird way, it's like a form of animation. You know, I also made a video about every form of animation, and all animation is just trying to convince you that something inanimate is animate. And I think that puppets are so cool, and it's like a medium that like not a lot of people still appreciate. And I everyone's like, oh, animation, stop motion, but like, where are the puppet movies, right? Like,
yes, actually,
and though. Like, I get the Muppet. It's tough because puppets are so limiting too, and so then it really like kind of leans itself to be like the Muppets being all humorous and like they can just wiggle around and like their arms like do this, like that's very funny to look at. But the Dark Crystal is like one of the few like takes itself super seriously puppet movies, you know? Even like The Labyrinth that was also done by Jim Henson, like the puppets like they like fart and they like kick each other in the butts and stuff. Like they're not like taking themselves seriously. So there's something about like puppet media that takes itself seriously I really like.
Yeah, bro. Dab! Use dab!
Yeah, in 2025.
I would have walked off stage right now, but I can't because I'm getting tattooed. No, I can't. Bye! Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin the vibe.
Does it like hurt?
No.
You're used to it?
Honestly, I forgot I was getting tattooed because you've just been talking, and I'm just like, this is nice.
Yeah.
I want to do this every time.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, and also Flora's like a good artist. Like, very light touch.
Okay.
But also that ink will hold. Like, so book your tattoos with Flora today. Call 1-800-FLORA.com.
Link in the description.
All right, I want to pull up some. I'm not going to ask you about Subway.
Okay.
Because I talked, and he said, don't talk about
Really?
Subway.
What did he say?
He said you have trauma.
You know, I like had a dream. I know we just said we're not going to talk about Subway, but literally like 2 nights ago, I had a dream that I was working at Subway.
Is it a dream or a nightmare?
It was fun because like in the dream, like my coworkers were telling me to do stuff, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm here just as a favor, you know. So. But also that Subway that I used to work at, it doesn't exist anymore. Like it's like a nail salon now. So I can never like go back and like
see your old friends
exactly.
and be like, you know what, I'm just going to come in for the day. Like you need a cover, I'm there.
Yeah.
Would you ever do that if it was still around?
I think I want to know if I still got it. As weird as that sounds, I want to know if I can still remember the sandwiches and the formulas or whatever.
Absolutely.
It's just making sandwiches though. I think I got it.
Do you know that Subway had a tattoo challenge? Like,
no.
Just 2 or 3 years ago where
really?
if you got like a 1-foot-long tattoo of a 1-foot-long sub from Subway, they'd give you free Subway for life.
That's an amazing deal, but it has to be a 1-foot-long tattoo.
It has to be a 1-foot-long, like 12-inch tattoo on your body.
Oh.
I got a little one.
I know where I'd put my... Anyway.
I had gotten a Subway tattoo when that challenge happened.
Did you really?
I got it on the bottom of my foot.
Oh.
Do you know that if you ever want to do like a test tattoo,
I was going to say, like, it's probably gone now.
it's complete. 2 weeks later, it's completely gone forever.
Yeah.
The Jimmy John's one is there forever, though. That's on there.
Is this the bull leg?
This is the social media like dare leg where you know.
Where you lose bets and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, literally lose bets, play tic-tac-toe.
Among Us.
Just get lots of dares. Do you see any more tattoos coming in the future?
Yes. Let me try that again. Yes, because let me try that the third time's a charm. I think having have you ever seen Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? It's another like YouTube series.
Yeah.
You have seen it? Do you remember?
Maybe.
It's another like puppet show, very good. And there's this like character on it that's a computer, and I kind of want to get the computer. I even like right here, you know.
Yeah.
And I want to get it because I'm a computery guy. You know.
I love that. That's awesome. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that brings us back to
technically it's another fandom tattoo though.
I mean, what's wrong with fandom?
Obviously,
You see on my
it's just
Pokemon?
a vibe, dude.
It's a good vibe. I have like at least 4 Pokemon tattoos on this leg alone. How did you start your journey on YouTube?
Wow. How much time do we have?
Until the tattoo's done.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, so I used to like draw these like stick figure comics in school/church all the time, and I would like pass them out to all my friends. And I think like just. You okay?
Yeah, that was a painful spot. That's right on it. Yeah.
I started out making these little stick figure comics and then passing them out to my friends. So I think I always was fascinated with like entertaining people with my art and just making these like silly little doodles. And then I would like read all these web comics online, and I was like, I want to do that. So then I got a drawing tablet for my 16th birthday. It was a Bamboo Create. It was this little like plastic. It wasn't plastic, but you know, it was just like one of those like cheap little drawing tablets and stuff. Also, I don't know why I'm left-handed, so this was wrong. And when I like started, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like creating these doodles and comics. And I actually, when I started, I like had a whole like cast of characters that had their own personality, and it was supposed to be like family circus. So that's why the name The Odd1sOut is a thing, because it's supposed to be about these like other cast of characters that no longer exist, and it's also why it's plural because there was like more than one of them. And then when no one was reading those comics, and then I kind of like reverted the characters back to these just like white blobs with like no distinguished features or anything. But I kind of like did that just so people could like, I don't know, see themselves in those characters. And it's like they're supposed to represent, they could be anything. They could be any person, it's like nothing. It's not like a specific, it's not like a specific character.
Like myself. And I love that because I relate to your main character as, Blob who's bald. That is me. So that's perfect. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, I do have a big bald audience. And then while I was making these like web comics, I was like watching a lot of YouTube videos while I worked. And I remember thinking like, I could do that. And then I got like a microphone for another present. And then I just like, again, didn't know what I was doing. So I just went out, like made a video talking about this book that I made when I was a kid. My very first video was about this book I made in elementary school called I Do Not Like This Family, which I don't know, if you're a teacher and then like one of your students makes a book called I Don't Like This Family, I would like, have a teacher conference or call it CPA or something. I don't know. I love my family. Just want to point that out. I do love my family. And then what was it? Then I just like kept making comics and YouTube videos. But then people kept asking, when's the next video? They weren't asking, when's the next comic? And then I just kind of like shifted over doing YouTube videos full time, little by little.
And how old were you at that point when you were starting on YouTube videos?
Let's see, I started YouTube when I was 18, right?
Okay.
Yeah. That was like my very first video was when I started when I was 18.
So young.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, an adult, but yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 28.
Oh, I'm 28 too. Rock
Dude,
on.
high five.
I can't because I'm getting a tattoo, but I'll boop.
Yeah, so we've been doing YouTube for 10 years, and let's see, I've like gotten a whole team of people. The really interesting thing about like doing animation is that like I had no idea like how animations were produced and made, and I kind of like I was like, all right, I need someone to do storyboards. All right, I need someone to do backgrounds. I need someone to do animation. And then like I kind of like built this pipeline, and then when I went over and like worked on Netflix, I realized that like, oh, what I do and what they do is like the exact same, just at a much bigger scale, So
absolutely. Did you still animate for the Netflix show, or did their team animate?
Oh, sorry. I'm just.
No, it's good. Do you like it so far?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Flora, you're not fired.
This is like a smudge. Yeah. But everything else was intentional. Did I animate for the Netflix show? Not really. No, I didn't really do any of the frame by frame stuff. I didn't really touch, but a lot of the character designs and I mean like it's tough. There's so much like parts of the process to like the voice acting, the writing, the music, the quality control, the like making sure the compositing. There's just like all these things that you have to like just every step of the line, like watch it, approve it. Oh, can you change this? Can you do this? So
absolutely,
it's a whole process.
It's specific, but that's what makes it so genius and so great. You know, is that you guys are working so solidly as a team. Do you still have like the same OG team from when you were 18? Oh, or is it evolved and grown and expanded?
Some people, yeah, but then some people have lives and like they go off and do other things, and some people, I know, right? It's always the worst when like someone on the team is like, "I'm gonna quit and pursue YouTube." I'm always like, "Oh, you're gonna be great," but like,
are there any YouTube channels of animators or anybody honestly that you would love to like work on a video together with?
Not really anymore, no.
Not anymore? Is there drama?
No, it's not drama. It's just that I think when I like first started, I would like hold YouTubers to this like really high pedestal. And then I found out like, oh, you make videos in your bedroom? So do I, So we're all just making videos in our bedroom, and YouTube gives us money to do that.
So that's what's amazing about YouTube is that it's like anybody could go viral for quite literally anything.
Yeah.
You have people going viral for working on motorcycles, for building.
Have you heard of this Hawk-Tua girl?
I have.
Crazy.
Crazy. I know, it's crazy what people can go viral for. I mean, you got there's so many examples. I don't want to delve in. I don't want to get myself canceled.
I was gonna say, like, you can go viral for just talking about your first fast food job. You know, it's anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for your channel name, right? I know you talked a little bit about how you came up with it, but why the Odd Ones Out and not like the Even Ones Out?
Well, the odd ONES was already taken, and then the amount of time it took me to go from ONES to the number 1 was like 5 seconds. I was like, oh, that's taken? Change that to a 1. And then it was a name I made. Did you ever make a name or like an email when you were like 16 and now that's like stuck with you forever?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So that's kind of what happened.
I love that. I know it's kind of scary to change the name where it's like, okay, now you have like, when you hit that 1 million mark on YouTube, it's like, I kind of have to like stick with this. This is who I am now. I used my legal name, which was a huge mistake.
Yeah, people are weird out there.
We got stalked one time.
Oh
Yeah. Oh,
you?
Yeah. Hey, whoa. Yes. We got stalked a couple times.
This sounds like a store. Multiple stalkings.
Yeah, there's a few stalkings.
Wow. Okay. So you're gonna take that experience, you're gonna put it into a script, and then you're going to record yourself reading the script, and then you're gonna animate that, and then there you go. You get animated story time right there.
I gotta ask, how many of your original stories are actually original, or like how much? Because for me, it's like you could take that story, like
really?
You know, we'll jump on a call and I'll give you the story, and you know, you can turn into your own original version.
Okay,
but how many of your stories are original versus like made up?
How much of it is original and made up? I think I call it a healthy amount of embellishment, and I wish I had an example for like my videos, but for some reason I only have this example from this kid named Bryson. His YouTube's Haminations. He has this like skit where him and his brother are like playing video games, and his older brother is like, you're too dumb to play this. And he's like, what? And I said, you're too young to play this. Oh, okay. And it's like, that specific like conversation may or may not have happened, but it's like, it's just part of the video because it's just showing the relationship between the older brother and the younger brother. And I'm trying to think, like, there's probably a bunch of stuff like that where, you know, you just retell the story a specific way for comedic effect, you know? But for the most part, like, I did work at Subway. I don't know why I would lie about that.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate the embellishment stuff too. You got to make it relatable, creative. I completely get that. What's a story from your life that's just too bizarre and crazy, even for Odd Ones Out?
What's a question that's too bizarre for my YouTube, but safe for this podcast?
Yes. I know, it's a tough one.
This isn't like
crazy college stories.
I mean, no, my college experience was staying in my dorm working on YouTube videos, and I like hated my roommates. I've already made a video about how much I hate roommates.
Did you really? That's amazing, man. I love that.
This isn't like crazy or anything, but do you know who Mr. Beast is? You haven't heard? You look him up later.
Okay,
He's pretty not a big deal, but there was like. I don't know if like there's not enough like substance, and I wouldn't want to just like make this video to be like, this is my experience with it. But like, speaking of the Netflix show, one time at a VidCon, Jimmy Mr. Beast comes up to me and he like hits his knees. He hits his knees and he's like, how did you get a show on Netflix? And I was like, you're doing great, Jimmy. You don't need to. And then like, so I also think that Jimmy is just like interested in like making an animated show.
Oh,
and
cool.
then he like invited me to his like office, and just the whole time it was just like I did the weird, like, it felt, he's like, here's a person in my backyard that has to live like off the grid for 100 days and he can't see his family or talk to them. And I'm like, and he's like, here's a warehouse of like 100 mannequins with no heads. And he builds all the sets. So like,
it sounds like he's holding them hostage. Like, it's insane.
So like, and like the whole time I'm just like, wow. Like I kind of just like, I was like off my game. I like couldn't hold a conversation or anything. So I've thought about like making a video just, I would more so be for my sanity, just so I can like process what happened, like when I went to his offices and everything. But
I think you should. That's a really fun story.
but like I don't know. I didn't want it to be like be a moocher or anything.
No, it's just like an interesting topic. I mean, you know, what's crazy about celebrities today and like actors versus musicians is that with actors, you have to be on the beat. You have to be on the beat, as in like you have to capitalize on the moment. Whereas with music, I mean, we all know who Mozart is. We all know who Beethoven is, Brahms, Tchaikovsky. And then, you know, you look back even 40 years ago and you have Guns N' Roses and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The Beatles.
But when you look back, like, you know, Gen Z doesn't know who Sean Connery is. They don't know who James Bond was. And that's why I think you should pursue that story, because it's what people want to know about right now.
Yeah. And then I could also talk about, I don't know if you saw Mr. Beast's Cube video.
Cube.
I was in one of his cubes.
I still don't know. Again, I don't know who Mr. Beast is.
That's right. I don't know. So yeah, that's my like too wacky for YouTube, but safe for this podcast story.
I love that. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any advice for YouTubers getting started today? Like in 2025, what's like a good piece of advice that you'd give to them to get their start?
I was going to say, like, take it easy, take breaks. You know, especially like new YouTubers, I feel like they have this like new YouTuber energy, but that's also like, I don't think that's the best advice for when you're starting out a channel. It's like, take it slow, you know, like that's not what you want to do. But don't get too attached to the numbers. I think people can get so drawn to like chasing the numbers and chasing like, I need to get this many views or it's not successful or anything, you know, like just make the videos that you want to watch, make the videos that you want to make. And then if you like do it because you enjoy doing it.
I love that, man.
Thanks, man.
What a great piece of advice. Well, James,
tattoo done?
The tattoo is done.
Holy shit.
Let's do a little reveal. Thank you, Flora. I appreciate it. Any last words of wisdom or things that you're working on that you'd like to share with the audience before we close out the show?
Okay.
Or like that you want to announce to the world?
No.
Or,
Announce?
You know.
No, this is just like I've been working on this for so long that I'm going to be working on it for even longer that it's like the only thing that's in my brain right now. And do you know the 2005 literary classic novel Warrior Cats?
No.
Okay.
That one I actually don't know. I know Mr. Beast.
Okay, you're just doing a bit. Well, so there's this like book series about these cats, and there's like 40 books in this series. There's so many, but for some reason, something about those books just makes people want to draw the cats. And there's like all these Warrior Cat animations on YouTube, and so pretty much like since the start of 2025, I've been reading Warrior Cats, which is like I'm not the demographic at all. It's like a book. It's like a book series for like 12-year-old girls. And like, it's so tough being in social situations now where all you want to talk about is Warrior Cats. You don't have to keep this in. This is just...
You're such a nut, bro. Of course we're keeping it in. We have to.
So I've been making these Garfield comics based off of it's the Warrior Cat characters in the style of Garfield. And that is like tickled my creative itch, and I've been like creatively fulfilled making these Garfield comics, and I'm really enjoying. And there's going to be probably not for any time soon, but there's going to be a big Warrior Cats video coming soon. Be on the lookout.
James, thank you so much for coming on the show, guys. Odd1sOut on all platforms. Go check out his Netflix show if you haven't already, called Oddballs, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, everybody.
Hit that like button.